All right, looks like we're recording. Welcome back to Dr. T's Gee-Rhage. So I realized yesterday I keep on posting, sanding the rims and sanding the radiator fan and all that, and talking about the sander I bought, but I don't think I've ever done an actual video for it. So I figured I'd do that today. Here's the sander here. It's from Harbor Freight. It's about $40. Here, let me grab, I got the box over in here too somewhere, I think. Oh, there we go. So you can probably see the box here. Portable abrasive sandblaster kit from Central Mnemonic. So yeah, like I said, it's usually about $40. Usually can get a coupon or something, use it for that kind of stuff. It doesn't come with any sand, so you gotta buy the sand. This is a sand I use. Online they recommended it. It's available over at Menards. Used to be around like $8 or $9 each. Last time I went and bought it a couple days ago, it was $11, $12, but still not too bad. Works pretty good. I've been using this a lot, so it was pretty much full up to here, but used it a lot over the weekend, so now it's back down there. So, but a full bag of this will fill this up here, and then you can still see I still got about that much of it here. Got about like that much of it left over in the bag. So overall, the sandblaster is not too bad. I got that little pancake air compressor, which seems to work fine with it. The gun's real simple. Plug it in there. Make sure you buy the pneumatic fitting here. I happen to have one laying around, so I think I had to take it off of something else that I never use. So I just kind of threw it on there. Gun's real simple. Just squeeze the trigger. This hose was already hooked up. Only thing I don't like is the hose is already hooked up where it attaches there. When you get out of the box, it has that kink right there. And I mean, you could probably cut it off and then put it on there, and then maybe try and heat it up to kind of shrink it around that fitting. It doesn't really seem like it, has much effect on it. I'm sure it probably restricts it a little bit, because even when you straighten out the hose, there's still kind of that line from it being kinked in the box. So I'm sure it restricts it a little bit, but overall not too bad. I've used a little pancake air compressor of this. Seems to work pretty good. Depending on where you live, like I'm in Michigan, where the air is always humid. Usually we run like 60 or 80% humidity, it feels like. So here, because I didn't put a filter or nothing on here, you want to put like a filter on your air compressor or something, keep all the moisture out. Sometimes it feels like it does kind of clog it, and sometimes here in the bottom, water will kind of start shooting out of here after a while because there's so much moisture in the air. So you probably want to put a filter on it. When I first bought it, I looked in the owner's manual. It said it needed a filter. Was looking at cheap, like just filters for it at Harbor Freight to put like an online or inline filter on it. And the filter and all the gizmos that the manual said you had to get would have ran me about $40. And I'm like, well, the whole sander only costs $40. So I'm not going to spend another $40. Like if it gums it up and doesn't work, I'll just warranty it out, Figure I'm only going to use it for this project and then probably never use it again. So I haven't put the filter on it. It does kind of make a bit of a pain, but overall not too bad. The sand works pretty good. You can kind of see from that clump over there, kind of gets all over the place. I do it in front of the garage where the dogs never come. That way they're not breathing in the sand, but it gets all over. Like before I swept, all this was all like black sand. I kind of swept it into a corner over there. I'll probably put it on the side of the garage there where it's like no man's land, just to kind of get it out of the way. Let's see, it goes through. It doesn't really go through too fast. Like I said, over the weekend I was using a ton of it, so I probably went through like this entire thing full here. I don't even know how much this thing holds. 50 pounds. So I probably went through 50 pounds of it over the weekend. just sandblasting the rims like crazy. Another thing too is on the gun, the point is pretty fine on it, so it only hits like a little tiny area. So you know, you have to kind of go back and forth a few times. Like, it gets kind of monotonous. So like on the rims, I recommend getting some aircraft remover, putting that on there to kind of loosen up some of the paint. Seems like that kind of works out better. You know, so, and I use it on the radiator fan. Seemed to work really good. My air cleaner box, it works pretty good sanding that. It takes forever, but it works pretty good on it. And oh, safety wise, make sure you get something like that. Really protect your lungs, because I'll even use this, and then the next day you kind of feel it a little bit on your lungs, man. Like, you know, back in the day in the bars, when they used to let people smoke in the bars, and you spent all weekend at the bar, and then your lungs just, they didn't feel right afterwards because you inhaled, you know, like 50 pounds of tar over the weekend. Kind of feels like that even if you use this, so make sure you use these, because I don't even want to know what it feels like without using one of those. Also, I'll kind of use face shield here, just to kind of keep it out of my eyes. Like, it creates a lot of dust, like all this area here, everything's coated in dust when I use it. So I use a face mask. You can even kind of tell, like, there's a fine amount of it there. Usually I'll use some gloves or even some rubber gloves with it. Naturally, it's a sandblaster, so a lot like a pressure washer. You don't want to sand your skin or anything, so if you're working with something, make sure you keep your hands out of the way. Don't point at yourself when you're all done and you're tired. Don't forget that it's not an air gun and almost point it at yourself thinking you're gonna sand or air blast some of the sand off you. Don't do that, because that's happened to me at the end of the day where I'm kind of tired, where I get kind of confused and think it's my handy dandy air gun, and I go to kind of blast off some of the dirt with air pressure, and right before I start I realize, oh wait, this is a sandblaster gun, I should probably not do that. So always remember safety first when you're using this thing. Overall, I mean, for $40, I've used the hell out of it, and it's still going. But there ain't really a lot of mechanical stuff on here to mess up. There's a few mechanical parts inside the gun, and that's it. And like I said, I only use like a little pancake air compressor, so you don't even need. I mean, I'm sure if you got a good air compressor, it probably will speed things up a lot, because half the time I'm just kind of waiting for pressure to build. But you know, overall, if you got a lot of time, you know, it's thick metal. I'd use it. So it's a recommend from Harbor Freight on this one. It's been a while since we had a recommend tool, because usually I'm dogging on them, but this one, recommend, worked out pretty good. So until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Dr. T's Gee-Rhage.